guys, so I'm back. I have my son with me. Say hi. You probably can't see, but say hi. That way. That way. Okay, he doesn't want to look that way. But anyways, so I have another story for you guys. I hope you guys liked the last story. I know that a lot of people have, gone through similar situations. I even have clients that come to me. Like when I first posted that story on my Instagram page, I had so many responses in regards to it. So many other clients, so many other lash artists that, unfortunately had to go through the same situation with, other lash artists, which is unfortunate. Case, whatever. But anyways, so I just want to talk about the dangers of doing lashes at home. Now, fortunately for me, I have the option of doing lashes at home and also at a space down in Miami. Well, I live in Florida, South Florida. So I have the option of doing lashes at home and at a small space down in Miami. Now, when I first started lashing, I just, did lashes down in Miami. When I got pregnant and I got close to, I got maybe at 6 months, I started doing lashes, 6 or 7 months. I started doing lashes at home. And then after the baby, when I got back into lashing, I was lashing from home as well. I'm back to doing lashes at home and in the space in Miami. Now, at home, I only lash my clients that come to me all the time. The clients that always come back. First time clients, new clients, I don't lash them from home. I would schedule an appointment and have them go down to Miami if they want to come to Miami. But my loyal clients and my clients that have been with me since I started, they have the choice of coming to get lashed here at my home. So this story time is kind of funny. It's really, really crazy because this situation, I didn't even realize it until a couple of months ago. We're in June. I think I didn't realize it until the end of last year, maybe November or December of last year. And then when I asked about it, I asked someone about it earlier this year. They were like, yeah. So I'm like, But anyways, this is the situation. So back in 2017, was it in 2017? No, I think it was earlier last year. It had to be February of last year. A client booked with me. Let's just say her name was Nicole. Nicole booked with me. I got the notification that she booked with me. And I mean, Nicole is a common name. So when I did see the name, I was like, wait a minute. Could this be such and such? And I'm like, nah, whatever. I blew it off. I was like, nah, I don't think so. Whatever. That would just be crazy. So, Nicole booked with me. She booked for a full set and whatnot. And this was at my Miami location at the time. So when it came to her appointment, she came in, got her lashes done. I asked her, she told me that she normally went to a different person to do her lashes, but I think the person did her lashes, I think the person wasn't available. And then she also told me that when the person lashed her, they lashed her with a curl that she didn't like. So she made sure that I wasn't using the same curl. And I was like, no, I don't even carry that curl. So, we went ahead and we continued with her appointment. So I lashed her, whatnot. I'm not even gonna lie. That night when I left, it kind of dawned on me again and was like, is this, such and such, or whatnot. I've never seen the person before, so I didn't know. So I'm like, is this such and such? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. So I'm driving home, and like I do all my clients, I sent her a text message and I asked her, how did she find me? She said, oh, she found me off Instagram. I said, okay, cool. So at that point, I really didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, okay, cool. She found me on Instagram. She told me she liked her lashes and blah, blah, blah. That was the first and last time I ever lashed her. Never saw her again. Now, I would say sometime at the end of last year, I don't know, November or December, the end of last year, I happened to notice that she liked a picture on my page. So I looked at the name again, and I'm like, Nicole. I'm like, is this this person that I've heard about previously, like years ago. I heard about this person or whatnot, and I'm like, is this the same person? And I'm like, it's just kind of odd that this name, it just keeps, like, kind of like just a little light just keep going up in my head. Like every time I see the name, I'm like, is this the person? I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. I don't know. But she's affiliated with somebody else that could have possibly sent her to book with me and get her lashes done. So at this point, I'm like, is this the person? And I'm like, but why would she send her? You paid me to do your lashes. Like, why would you do that? But you know what? When you think about it, people are crazy out here. Like, people are crazy and they do the weirdest stuff. So who knows? She probably, this person probably did, send her friend to get, book with me, get her lashes done just to see where I'm at, or whatever the reason is. I don't know. I just didn't think, somebody would go that far. But like I said, you never know. People are really crazy out here and people do the weirdest things. But so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, so did this girl really send her friend Nicole to book with me, to get her lashes done just to see who I was, or to see where I worked out of, stuff like that. I'm like, that's so weird. But anyways, come to find out, I did a little research, and this Nicole girl is the girl that I thought of, months prior. And I'm like,
whoa. Wait a minute.
See, this is why I really didn't even want to start lashing out of my home in the first place. And that's why I started lashing in Miami when I first started, because you really don't know who's booking with you. There's people out here that, want to see what you're doing, or whatever reason they may have. They might just book with you just to book, just to come in, pay you, just to, look around or do whatever investigation that they're doing, whatever the case is, right, Poppy? But anyways, come to find out, I did my, my research, and it happened to be the girl. The whole girl was actually the girl. And I'm like, that's so crazy. So in my mind, I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt. Even now, I'm still like confused, because I'm like, nah, I think it was I'm thinking it was a coincidence. Maybe she didn't know. And I'm like, she has to know who I am, because she just has to know. I'm not gonna get into details. I'm just like, she has to know who I am. Like, that's just so crazy. Maybe she didn't know when she booked, but after she booked, she has to. By this time, she has to know. So even if it was a coincidence at first and she booked with me after the fact, I believe at this point she knows. She knows. And it's like, this person is on my page liking pictures, and stuff like that. So I'm just like kind of like bugged out. I'm like, yo, like, why would you do something like that? And you're supposedly, friends with this person that we're not associated with, or we don't want to associate with, or whatever the situation is. Like I said, I won't get into details, but you're booking with me, you're on my page, you're liking pictures and blah, blah, blah. And that was the only time you ever came to me to do your lashes. You never came back for a fill, you never came back for anything, and you so-called claimed you like your lashes, I understand you were going to somebody else before, but still, it was just kind of odd. And I'm gonna call him Brandon. So I brought it up to Brandon, and I showed him, and when I showed him the picture, he was like, yeah, that's her. He was like, wow, what happened? I'm like, man, this girl booked with me earlier last year. He's like, no way. I said, yeah, she booked with me. He was like, man, you need to be careful.
I was like, what?
Yeah, he's like, man, this is such and such, and she's friend with such and such. And I'm like, whoa. He was like, man, it was definitely some type of setup type of stuff. And I'm talking to him, I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Who knows? Who really knows? But if that was some type of setup, like, that's crazy. Like, you really paid somebody, or you really paid me to do your lashes so that you could go back and, tell your friend whatever information you wanted to tell her about me. Like, that's just so crazy. And I'm over 30 years old. I'm drama free. Like, I don't partake in drama. I don't do stuff like that. I have kids to worry about. I have a family to feed. Like, I don't care about stuff like that. So for me to have found out that something like that happened, like, that really bothered me. Like, imagine if she had booked and I had her come to my house. Like, that's crazy. But like I said, to this day, it's kind of still like, maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe she really didn't know who I was when she was booking. But like I said, by this time now, she knows who I am. But ladies, just, you know, if you're going to work out of your home, I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to, you know, filter out clients. I mean, you really can't filter out clients. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's just booking, you know, just to book and, you know, start some drama or whatever the case is. Just be careful. Like I said, right now I do still lash out of my home, but I only invite, you know, people that I know and clients that have been coming to me consistently, you know. I'm sorry, puppy, what happened? So anytime a new client books, I don't, you know, they don't come to my home. I lash them in Miami, in the space that I have in Miami. I don't allow them to come to my home. So just be, you know, just be careful. Be aware of your surroundings, you know, be aware of who's booking. If you notice a name that looks kind of weird or funny, look into it. Don't be afraid to look into it. Ask questions. Text that person. Ask them how they know you. How did they find you? Did someone refer them? You know, ask questions. I mean, it's fine to ask questions. Just be careful. You know, worry about yourself first. Like, don't worry about that money, because you will find another client. Somebody else will book with you. If you don't feel comfortable, tell them, you know, I'm sorry, unfortunately, I won't be able to lash you. You don't have to give a reason or anything. Just be like, listen, unfortunately, I can't lash you. You're going to have to book with somebody else, unfortunately. You know, I apologize, or whatever the case is. But yeah, that was just so crazy that, you know, this ended up being this, you know, Nicole person that I thought it was. And like I said, I really can't say if it was done purposely or if it was a coincidence. But if it was done purposely, it's very sad. You know, it's very sad. And if you guys are watching this video, like, I don't know, get a life. But whatever. Guys, be careful. I know a lot of lash artists lash out of their home, and it's more convenient for them. They don't have to pay rent. They don't have to do, you know, certain things when lashing at home that they would have to do, or, you know, any requirements that they would have to have when they're, you know, renting out a shop. So just be careful. Ask questions. You know, do what you need to do to keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that. If this has happened to anybody else, comment below. I would love to hear your story. Like this video and share, and I'll be back with another story time in the next few weeks. See you guys later. Say bye. He's like, he just woke up. All right, I'll see you guys later.